Everyone, welcome to this week's edition of the WyoSports video blog. I'm Robert Gagliardi, senior editor of WyoSports, here to preview the Border War. 107th time Wyoming and Colorado State play football. A series that goes back to 1899. It's the 70th consecutive year these two teams have played a football game. 1 o'clock Saturday at War Memorial Stadium. No TV, ESPN3, you could watch it online. And just quick from last week, it was kind of a disaster at Utah State, at least defensively and special teams wise. 58-27 loss. I thought the offense with quarterback Nick Smith, held his own. They ran the ball well. Brian Hill, another 200-yard game, continues to climb up the record books and the charts and everything there. But defensively, Utah State came out with the game plan, and Wyoming just had no answer for it. So in special teams, the block punt right near halftime was a disaster. We were still a pretty within reach, and that play just really kind of swung it. And basically, from what Craig Bull said at halftime, they kind of outthought themselves. Well, first you got to get the basics down before you do any of those types of things, and that'll be key on Saturday. And it's an interesting game in the fact where, Colorado State's 3-5. They still can get bowl eligible with wins in three of their last 4 games, but they're in their first 4 Mountain West games, the combined conference record of those teams is 17-3. The combined record of their final games of the conference records are 9-24. So this is a very good, this is a very dangerous Colorado State team with a lot of offensive weapons. Sophomore quarterback Nick Stevens leads the Mountain West in touchdown passes, ranks in the top 3 in passing yards and pass efficiency. They don't have a standout running back, but they certainly have guys that can carry the ball. Rashard Higgins having another good season at wide receiver. Joe Hansley, their tight ends are good. Defensively, teams have run the ball on CSU over about 213 yards rushing a game. That should bode well for Wyoming in a game like this. But also special teams, you got to give the big edge to Colorado State. 3rd in the nation in punting. They flip field position as good as any team in the nation. Their kickoff returns are very good, and their field goal kicker's made his last 5, and I think he's 9-13. And we know Wyoming struggles in the field goal kicking departments this season. So I think it's going to be a close game, like a lot of border wars are, although the last 2 haven't been, both Wyoming losses. But an interesting kind of stat in this game is Colorado State is among the worst. I think the 3rd to last in all the FBS in turnover margin at -14. That's a good sign, but Wyoming is -7 turnover margin. That's not great. But Wyoming's forced only 6 turnovers all season. So, yeah, it's exciting to see a team that maybe is prone to turn the ball over. When your defense doesn't turn it over or force a lot of turnovers, I don't know if that'll be a wash or if that'll be a factor, but that's certainly something to watch in this game. Cam Coffin, quarterback, has practiced on Wednesday. I don't know how much he practiced, but he was out there, did some walkthrough stuff. I think it's still going to be later in the week, maybe even closer to a game-time decision, but I'm pretty doubtful that he's going to play. It looks like it will be Nick Smith once again, and we'll see how the offense progresses there. I think we'll see a lot of Brian Hill. That would be a good thing for Wyoming if he can run the ball. But I'm a little worried about the defense. CSU's got weapons, and if Wyoming can't play well across the board on defense, I don't know if they're going to have enough firepower to keep up with CSU. So my final score prediction is 3rd straight loss in the border war for Wyoming, going with Colorado State 35, Wyoming 27. We'll see. Been right on some of these, and a lot of I'm wrong more often than not. So that'll do it for this week's edition of the WyoSports video blog. For more University of Wyoming and high school sports coverage, see the Wyoming Tribune Eagle and Laramie Boomerang, and log on to WyoSports.net. Thank you very much, everybody.